How is everyone? Volume
Doing good
sound
here.
okay? Great. All right, this is the blues talk for today. I chose to do a topic called Jamming Blues Guitar Leads 101. So the 101, you know what that means, right? Beginners and budding guitarists, this is for you. Okay, to start out, we're going to talk about scales. Now I had a screen I wanted to share. Let me see if I can find it. This is the order of topics we'll be going over today. We're going to talk about scales, pentatonic scales. There's 5 patterns to each scale: minor pentatonic, major pentatonic, dominant pentatonic, major scale, minor scale, harmonic minor scale. So scales is one big group of things we'll be talking about. We're going to talk about intervals, sixths, thirds, fourths, fifths, octaves. We're going to talk about scale sequences, 3-4 note sequence. Maybe talk about some different patterns and drone sounding guitar licks. Talk about the toolkit down here. The toolkit every lead guitar player should have is hammer-ons, pull-offs, trills, bends, vibrato, double stops, licks, sweeps. And then we're going to talk about how to jam and improv using all these little tricks and tips up here, including scales and stuff out of the toolkit. And then we'll talk about technique, and that will do it. So let's get going here. So the very first thing most people learn when they start playing blues lead guitar is the G minor pentatonic, and your fingers have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. The very first pattern is 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Back down, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1. That's the G minor pentatonic. Penta meaning 5. It's a 5-note scale. There's 2 notes missing out of that to make it a pentatonic scale. Now I suggest you on these different topics, I'm just going to go at a high level. If you want more details, go dig into Google searches and YouTube searches, and there's tons of information out there on these different topics I'll be talking about. So basically you have the G minor pentatonic. There's 5 different patterns. That's the first one. You can move up the top notes of this pattern, become the bottom of the next one. And so on. 5 patterns, and you finally get all the way back to the top up here. Okay? So, 5 patterns, G minor pentatonic. Also, we have a major pentatonic scale. There's something in music called the relative minor and the relative major. For example, if I play a G major chord, the relative minor is an E minor. Hear that similarity? A minor is always 6 steps above the major root. So G, A, B, C, D, E. G, A, B, C, D, E. 6, right? How about a C? A minor is a relative minor. Same thing with scales, okay? So if I have this E minor pentatonic scale with the open strings here, E minor, right? That could also be a G major pentatonic using the same exact pattern and fingering. So there's my G major chord. A G major pentatonic would be you're just emphasizing the different root note for the major as opposed to the minor, okay? Same patterns. There's 5 of those all the way up the neck, you know. Okay, another thing is people ask, how do you go between patterns? I mainly just slide back and forth, or I might stop and then jump to a new pattern. So I might be jamming, let's say, in the G minor pentatonic, right? So I'm sliding around between the patterns. It's one way to move between those. Or you could just stop and then move. Okay, now on top of the pentatonics, we could add a couple notes and have your minor scale. So instead of a G minor pentatonic, we're going to have a minor scale. So you got the pentatonic right there, but I'm adding some more notes. Okay, so you could add notes to make a minor scale. So if you have some minor key blues, you want to do a little bit of stuff like that. Next, one of my favorites is the harmonic minor scale. So let's say if I'm doing a E harmonic minor. Hear that right there? That's 1.5 steps. You don't see that very often in a scale. It gives that Indian flavor, sitar kind of flavor. So both those notes want to resolve. That wants to resolve to the E. That wants to resolve down. Okay, then we have the basic major scale, 7 notes. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Or maybe that could be Joy to the World. Or it could be Grateful Dead, you know, same thing. I mean, all right. So those are the scales. They put that in your practice schedule. You know, go look up some stuff on Google and YouTube. Let me take a look at the time here. Okay, we still got some time. I'm going to move on to intervals. A lot of times in the blues, you'll hear some sixths being played, like. Or you might have heard this song. Those are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. An interval of a sixth. You can run that up like a scale. All right. So 6 could be added to your blues. Thirds, you could add thirds. Let's do a third in the key of D. Here's 1, 2, 3. So you got the root and the major third. You could also round that up like a scale. Six thirds octaves. Wes Montgomery, famous for octaves back in the old jazz days. He played with his thumb. He played octaves like crazy, man. Faster than I could pick anything. Okay, then you could do some octaves and get this kind of drone sound. The guitar is made for this drone kind of sound. Let's see, we're doing something in E. I could add octaves to that. So you get that nice drone kind of sound using those octaves and open strings in the key of E, all right? Okay, moving on. It's 3 and 4 note sequences you could throw into your jams. So all that is you play 3 notes. 1, 2, 3. Come back and play 3 more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's a 3 note sequence. 4 note sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are 4 note sequences. I saw Gary Harrington one time rip a 4 note sequence from all the way down on the low E string all the way up to here without stopping. It just blew me away. I don't know how he did it. Amazing, you know. So yeah, there's those things. Jamming and improv. Let's go on to the toolkit. We still have a little time. Here's a few little things you could throw in when you're playing with these. Hammer-ons. You play the lower note and hammer on to the upper note. You're not picking it, you're slamming your finger down, right? Okay, hammer-ons, pull-offs. It's just the opposite. You play the higher note, pull off to the lower note. You can make a lick out of that. Let's say we borrow these two guys, do a triplet. I could throw the minor another note in there. I'll switch between those. Okay, then we have trills, combination of a hammer-on and pull-off. Hammer-on, pull-off, hammer-on, pull-off. Trills, we have bends. Blues wouldn't be blues without bending some notes, right? Okay, vibrato. B.B. King was the king of vibrato. He would play that one note and his guitar would just be shaking like this. You could see his whole hand just going like that, you know. So that's something you can add in there, some vibrato. I like to do double stops a lot. They're a force. All you got to do is look at a pentatonic scale and find adjacent notes, like string to string adjacent notes, so you have stuff like this. Those are double stops. Licks. Licks you can make up. This is all on you, you know. You get some of these little toolkit stuff and you start making licks up. That's a lick. How about this one? So what am I doing there? I'm bending up to that note. Then I'm doing a pull-off. You could do it on the next two strings. Okay, so you got your licks. Another thing I do occasionally, but I'm not really that good at it. A lot of these heavy metal thrasher guys do this exceptionally well, called sweeps, where you just like sweep across your strings. And they'll be playing some rapid stuff, sweep picking, you know. I just throw it in occasionally, like. Remember this tune? House of the Rising Sun. That's like early old-time sweep picking. Sweeping across the strings, right? Okay, and the only last thing I have is technique. Somebody interrupting? Hello? Mute your mic, please. The last thing I have is alternate picking. Your techniques are alternate picking when you play your leads. You always want to do down up strokes, okay? Your right hand's always going like this, and you're jamming that lead out, all right? So hey, I want to thank everybody for this little get-together on blues lead guitar. Those are just some of the tricks in my bag I use, you know, and I'm sure there's a lot of good guitarists that have a lot more than this. I mean, the big thing is it's an individual thing. It's all yours. You own it. You can make it up and do whatever you want with this stuff, you know. So you don't have to play fixed songs all the time. You can get out there. That's what the jam's all about. The improv, improv. It feels so good when you get a tight band and everything's clicking and feeling all right. Anyhow, thanks for your time. Hope everybody has a good winter. I'm out of here, and I'll be back in the spring. Thanks,
Thanks,
everyone.
JD.